Good day, my name is Aldo. I'm the inventor of the Exit Emergency Ladder. I'm here today to do an instructional video on how to install this permanent mount bracket for the exit ladder. This will allow your ladder to remain bolted to the wall near the exit window. It's quite a convenient feature and a nice one. And in this application, I think I'd like my bracket higher up on the wall, or my bag higher up on the wall. One place you don't want to put it is you don't want to put it so that these quick clamps in my left hand that rest on your windowsill, because when you go to test the assembly or to practice, they'll dent the wood of your windowsill, and that's not anything you desire. So I'm going to put a little mark on my wall that I can take off with a pencil. It's right about here to mark my height of where I want it. Now I'm going to use the stud finder to find the stud in this wall. My stud should be right about there. Okay, so my finger there, I'm going to take my little finishing nail. I know the height I'm going to want it right about here, so let me take the finishing nail and I'll drive a hole. So now it's hit the stud. I can feel that because it's giving me resistance. But as I said earlier, it's important to find the center of the stud because we're going to be putting such a load on this that we want to make sure we get all the bolts into the stud thoroughly. We don't want any of the bolts to miss the side of the stud. And the way I'm going to do that, now that I know where somewhere in the middle of the stud is, I'll keep moving the nail over slightly until it misses the stud, and then I'll know that that's the one side of the stud. I happen to know that this house uses standard studs, which are 1.5 inches wide, so there's the side of it because it slipped by. And so I know my left side is right there. I'll mark that. And my right side will be right about here. Once you've found the sides of the stud and you know the height that you want to mount your bracket, you can put it up on the wall and mark where you're going to need to drill your holes. There are 3 holes. So I'm going to make 3 marks like this. Okay, this step 2, now we're going to prepare the bag, because the bracket's going to bolt through the bag onto the wall so that when the ladder is on the bracket, it's inside the bag on the wall. There's a seam at the bottom of the bag. You want to just put the bracket onto the seam and then mark the bag. I'm just going to use a standard pair of scissors. I'm going to pull the fabric up where the mark is. I'm just going to make a little cut so that that'll allow the bolt to go through the bag and hold the bag in place behind the bracket. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a bracket, we're going to take a bolt, and we're going to put it through the bag to make it easy to handle. And then I'm just going to take it and make sure I'm starting out with the top bolt, and I'm going to put it in the top hole. Now I'm setting the bottom bolt. Tightening the bolts so that they are snug. I'm not over tightening them. Great. This is the last step of this process before you test it, and we've got the standard 2-story ladder here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip the webbing off the hook, because the hook then becomes part of the assembly in the hook here in the bag to hold the ladder. If you'll notice on the bracket there are these 2 little lips. If you slide the hook in the lips, all of a sudden the hook now creates like a shelf for the ladder to sit in. And then we've got these quick connects. We're going to have to connect this in a way, it's almost upside down, so that when you throw the ladder out, the standoffs are facing the inside of the wall. So if I place the ladder on the windowsill like that, the way it's supposed to go, and I bring this up, this is the quick connect, and I loop it through the right way, I'll get it right. And one of the things we recommend is that you get some thread lock or something like this from your hardware store and put it on the threads. If you're pretty sure you don't want to take it loose, this will make your install just a little bit better. Great. So this is now secure. Then what I want to do is put it in the bag so that it's ready for when you want to deploy it. I like to put this in bottom down. Better method. All the webbing in there. Now, we're ready for the most important part of the installation, which is testing it. It's testing your installation. We test our assemblies to 1,000 pounds at the factory. That doesn't mean that your wall or windowsill will hold that kind of weight. What we recommend in the next step is absolutely critical to being sure that you have a safe install. It's very easy to do. This is the last step in the installation. It's the testing step. You want to be careful that you don't damage your house in this process, but you're testing not the ladder but the installation into your wall. I like to do this safely by having two adults just climb up the bottom step of the ladder and make sure that the installation holds. And so we'll do that real quickly and then we'll come down. And so that installation seems to be satisfactory.